It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Wednesday, October the 9th. Good morning, one and all. Let's get right into it, shall we? Here is your top five at 6. Number 1 is last. I'm going to start with number 5. See how I did that backwards almost? Hey, check this out. Major League Baseball is your new Twins broadcaster.
All right.
Remember, Bally's went tits up, as they say. Not quite sure. Major League Baseball will produce and distribute local games for not only the Twins, but the Brewers and the Cleveland Guardians. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quote says, with the media landscape continuing to evolve, Major League Baseball is committed to serving our fans by ensuring they can see their favorite clubs, removing blackouts when we can, blah, 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 blah. I think it's a little strange that the league itself has to do this but it's just indicative of the state of cable television right now.
Yeah.
The people normally providing us with sports are all looking around thinking, well, am I even going to have a job tomorrow? So the streamers are going to have to get involved if we're the future is Netflix and Amazon for all sports. That's just where it's all headed to me.
I guess the big conglomerate streamers. Bally's is a streamer. They stream. They have the app. My friends and I have been complaining to each other, texting back and forth on the Wild games. They drop things all the time. They have these weird commercial broadcasts that aren't commercial. There's nothing there. It's just real janky. They haven't pulled it off over there at Bally's. So, good luck to MLB and whoever they sell it to or have produce it for them, but I'm ready to try something else.
The MLB network has been up and running since 2009, and apparently they know what they're doing. They do a great job. Baseball fans in 2024, this past season, streamed 14.5 billion minutes of live baseball games at MLB.TV.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Because every year the conversation is, how do these baseball teams pay their players so much money?
Right.
They're the highest paid athletes. How is that possible? Well, 14.5 billion minutes of streaming might have something to do with that. The people who like baseball really like baseball. And they watch a lot of it.
People who like the Twins are masochists. But that's all right.
Well, as long as we all know the contestants, we can choose our fighters and have a good time.
Yeah.
Number 4 on your top 5 at 6. How often do you floss your teeth? Zep, how often?
Several times a day. I'm a flosser. I haven't been my entire life, but somewhere along the way, when I started hanging out with men in their 70s, like my dad and uncle and folks like that, I thought, your breath is rank, not like onions. I just had a Chicago dog or a beer rank, but just old gum.
There's something in the mouth.
Rank. Yeah, I just didn't want it anymore. So yeah,
I have the exact same experience.
Like 4 or 5 times a day.
Terrible flosser for years, and then about 10 years ago, I just started really getting after it.
Yeah.
Tony, you a big floss guy?
A couple days before I have a dentist appointment.
Okay, yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
That was me for years. What about you, Ryder?
I have a note from my dentist that says I have an unusually small mouth.
Okay.
So this is not good for me, but switched over to the water pick. Game changer.
Okay.
All right. The water pick, it gets down in there.
It
It's
does.
not just a kind of a surface deal. It gets the grime out.
Blows all the things out.
And now I'm staring at your mouth. I don't know. Look at that. There's a
It is tiny.
big laugh.
Man.
That and the flossing technology has gotten so much better. When you have to wrap it around your finger, you have to do that every once in a while, and you're like, I can't get in. I don't. But now these slick things that are filling up our landfills, I love
They
them.
just baboof. Well, a dental hygienist who is put up a TikTok video with a little life hack, if you will. Check this out.
It's so crazy when I've been cleaning people's teeth for a whole hour and I don't smell periodontal disease really until the end when I'm checking my work and I'm flossing and I can smell it really bad. Even through my mask, my face shield, everything. I always tell my patients, if you want to be grossed out but you want to feel encouraged to floss your teeth and then smell the floss.
Smell the floss.
Smell the floss. Smell the glove.
Yes.
I can remember moments in my life where, I've never put floss to my nose, but there have been moments when I didn't have to. I was like, oh my God, what is that? That is disgusting. And I'll double your point. I've been around a few folks, and you realize, if I don't get on this, my breath's going to smell like that at a certain point, and people are going to talk about me the way I'm going to talk about this guy when he leaves the room.
Would you smell my floss for me?
Oh, man. I'd be honored.
Ooh.
Maybe there's a like, what is it in The Bachelor? They hand the girl a rose. Maybe they should
Would you accept this rose?
smell my floss. I'm looking for a woman with the cleanest smelling, the freshest. I want a bouquet of roses to smell out of your gums. Yeah. Number 3 on your top 5 at 6, Fat Bear Week. We talked about this contest out in Alaska. There's a bunch of bears, a bunch of grizzlies, brown bears out there, and they're all on bear cams in the wilderness, and people vote for who they think is going to be who's their favorite fat bear. The winner this year, it's a nice story. Grazer has won for the second time, her second Fat Bear contest Tuesday. She defeated a giant male who, in fact, killed her cub this past summer.
Oh,
so
well,
in
take
his
that.
face.
Yeah, take that.
It's not really the payback you might think, because these bears don't know what we're talking about. She's still wandering around without a cub looking for berries. But we can all say, hey, good job, payback.
That's all in her hips, too. She's probably not happy with that. Well, and this wasn't the bear that ate the other bear that was
Nope,
eating
that's a
all the
whole
fish?
different
All right.
thing. These bears are going after each other. I think they do know there's a competition, and I think this is what happens. When you put bears in the squared circle, accidents and murders are going to occur. That's just how it happens. There is a bear also just known as Chunk. He's the largest one on the river. I just can't imagine what the largest grizzly bear is getting done in a day. I don't want to know. Bears terrify me.
Yeah, well, no, they should be terrifying. They're wonderful to watch on video cams. Fat Bear Week. They're right there from your computer, right there from the recliner on your laptop. What you call it?
Number 2 on your top 5 at 6, the new film featuring Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan, Minnesota's Robert Zimmerman. This movie has, there's a trailer out. Timothy Chalamet singing as Bob Dylan. Not a bad, for my quick ear, pretty darn good.
You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for Bob Dylan to play Timothy Chalamet at the end of his career.
Wouldn't that be amazing? They'd age, do the stuff they did in the Irishman, where they age him back down. And I want to see Bob Dylan in a high school classroom being told, the principal needs to see you. Apparently you got an audition you have to go try for. The young Timothy Chalamet at a performing arts school in New York City, played by 81-year-old Bob Dylan. Hell yeah, Zepp, you're onto something. It'd be fantastic. Good morning, everybody up in Elk River. Good to hear from you today. Let us know what you're up to. 651-989-ROCK on the KQ Talk text line. What's happening in Elk River? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is literally, it's a river where all the elk hang out. And they rut and they do their business, and you can go pet. There's elk petting.
Feed them.
Very good. The elk are in a rut right now, by the way. Just pissing all over themselves and bugling out there, trying to attract the chicks. Elk River. I don't know if they ever had elk here in Minnesota. I suppose way back before us folk came along. But
probably.
I don't know why they went with Elk River. Just sounds cool, though, doesn't it?
It does. It sounds really cool. Right on, Elk River. Good to have you with us. And also, number 1 on your top 5 at 6. Good to be in the finals yet again. The Minnesota Lynx dusted the Connecticut Sun last night at the Target Center. They are in the finals for the first time since 2017. This is great. You have a big crowd there. They're all excited, but now the finals approach, and it's going to be an even bigger deal. Go Lynx, that's what I say.
Guard Kayla McBride.
What was the confidence level being back here at Target Center for you and your teammates?
Oh, it was huge. I think we have some of the best fans of the WNBA here in Target Center here in Minneapolis, and we knew they were going to come out and support, and it was on us to, match their energy and bring the aggression. It was Game 5, it's win or go home, and we wanted to give everything we had. It was 40 minutes on our home court, and I thought we took advantage of that.
Bing, bang, boom. 6 in a row at one point. 2 threes in a row for Kayla.
Nice, Lynx. Go get them. Let's jump on the bandwagon now that we're in the finals. I'm all for it.
I just did this morning.
That's great. You and me both.
Kayla McBride give the interview. I watched the highlights and I went, wow, look at him just play the crap out of it.
Hoist that championship trophy, and the KQ Morning Show is all getting tattoos, Lynx. There it is. I put it on the table. There's the gauntlet has been thrown down. Minnesota Wild kickoff tomorrow night. It's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. Let's put together throughout the day. Let's put together a little midweek mixtape. If you were running sound at the XL Energy Center for the Wild games, you're the guy in the booth. Yeah. You got your hands on the buttons. What song would you play during a fight on the ice? Think about it. Let us know on the KQ Talk and text line. What's your fight song? Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Wednesday, October the 9th, which means we are one day away from NHL hockey at the XL Energy Center. The Wild kicking it off tomorrow night. We're going to put you in the sound engineer's booth. We're looking for, let's build ourselves a midweek mixtape. What song would you play at a Wild game when there's a fight on the ice? On the text line, no shortage of text messages came in, but I'm going to share Bob's with you. Bob said, my fight song is Careless Whisper by George Michael. To catch my opponent off guard. That'll do it.
As soon as they look up into the air like, what the hell am I? Yeah. Then you, boom, drop the gloves and pow.
My favorite ever walk-up music at a celebrity softball game, the guy that hosted my sports show, my co-host on my sports show, who happened to be my cousin, he chose Cat Stevens' Morning Has Broken as he walked into the batter's box. Same kind of thing. You just want to confuse the opponent.
I have nothing wrong with that, especially when it comes to fighting.
651-989-ROCK is the line to call and or text. Tony, who's on the horn?
Got a couple lads, Dave from Andover and then Don from Winstead.
Dave, good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning.
Dave, first
really
things...
love your show, Steve.
Thank you, brother. First things
Glad
first.
you're in town.
Man, you and me both.
I'm 76 years old. I've been listening to KQ since it was on AM and FM.
Right on.
1440.
Yeah.
Way back.
All right.
Anyway, my best song for during a hockey game, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, Pat Benatar.
That checks out. You're not alone. A lot of text on that one. Perfect choice to kick off the day, Dave. Thank you. And by the way, thank you for the kind words, man. We appreciate you listening for so long.
Yeah, love you guys.
Glad you're still with us. Thank you, sir. Hit me with your best shot. Sure, that's a fastball right down the middle.
Yep. Yeah.
Always. I'm always looking for the knuckleball selections.
I do like those, and for me, it's because I'm such a classic rocker. I'm thinking, what are my classic rock songs?
Yeah.
Is it Rocky? Do we just go with the?
Yeah.
Or, it's Survivor's Eye of the Tiger. But this wasn't my idea. I was at a Wild game some years ago. I think it was the Red Wings were in town, and LL Cool J's "Mama Said Knock You Out."
Oh, sure.
Just really nailed the moment.
Tony, who else is on the horn?
Up next, Don from Winstead, and then we have Joe.
All right, Don, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
What do you got for us, Don?
A good fight song would be Run, Run, Run from JoJo Gunn.
Yeah, it would. Wow. Haven't heard that one in a fair piece.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Steve, that's a great drumming song for a beginning drummer.
Sure it is.
You know what,
There-
Steve?
Yeah, I gotta put it back on and see if I still got what it takes. Don, thank you for the call, man. We appreciate it.
If I may, just like Dave before, I've been listening for decades too, and it's a great show, you guys, all of you.
Oh, cheers, Don. Much appreciated, brother. Thank you for the call.
I'm assuming these guys are just up to piss and go back to bed, aren't they? What are you doing up? I'm looking forward to sleeping in someday.
Yeah, well, it takes all kinds. We got Joe on the horn as well. Joe, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
Lay it on me, Joe. What do you got?
Well, I have a few of them, actually. I thought Boom Boom Out Go the Lights.
Sure, that's a good one.
And then I thought, I got visualizing this, and it would actually be kind of funny if they played Dancing in the Moonlight.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Joe. Very well done.
And then there's anything that's fighting, like Street Fighting Man, Saturday Night's All Right, Kung Fu Fighting, or the Beastie Boys classic, You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Play Hockey.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Joe. Very strong. All those are up on the ledger.
Like
very nicely done.
Thank you, sir.
You got it. Thanks for the call.
I love this honeymoon period right before the season begins, and
we got to have fun while we can.
One of those teams, it's like they're not, kind of like the Twins because of this, Parisi Suter cap thing they got to drag out for another year. They haven't been able to really max out on the money and bring in some more firepower. But, yeah, a lot of hope for the team, and we'll see. A little Spurgeon's healthy. That's all I got for you. Gus the Bus, come on, bring back that, what year is it, 22-23 season for us, if you would.
On the text line, Jimmy sent in Pink Floyd's Brain Damage. That's a bit dark, but sure.
Good.
Okay.
Oh,
I got in big trouble years ago. I used to be the PA announcer for the Minnesota Fighting Pike, the arena football team.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And I introduced the Pike. It would be raucous, just kick-ass music, and then the opposing team would come out, and I played the Carpenters, Close to You. Why do birds? And I got reprimanded.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got in big trouble.
That's your job, man. For Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas might be a kind of a fun one to lighten the moment.
That would always work. So you would play for was the Fighting Pike, you said?
Yes, the Minnesota Fighting Pike, baby.
What were some of the other team names? Was there like did you play the zebra mussels? I mean, an invasive species coming in.
Remember Kurt Warner, the Iowa Barnstormers?
That's right.
My brother had season tickets. He was living in Des Moines. I'm like, you have season tickets to arena football? He's like, dude, it's Des Moines, Iowa. That's literally all we have down here. And he was telling me about it. He goes, oh, no, we have this great quarterback, man. He really lights it up. And then off to the Rams he went.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Go figure. Well, it's just the NFL has room for exactly one guy to make that leap.
That was it.
Sorry. There was another guy. Do you remember there was a running back from the Arena League, and then he busted into the main, and his name, on the back of his jersey was He Hate Me.
He Hate Me. No, it was the not the USFL, was the other league. It wasn't arena football.
XFL?
It was XFL.
I think, yeah.
There's
I think
XFL.
as well. Yeah, He Hate Me.
A Western Kentucky University Hilltopper.
Was
Hate
he?
Me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, yeah. We walked the same campus. Different decades, of course. But, of course, I never heard of him at Western. But I'm like, that's my guy.
Yeah.
What's his real name? No idea.
Right.
No.
I know.
All right. We're going to be loading up this mixtape throughout the day. So hit the text line, 651-989-ROCK. I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Why don't we look back? It is October the 9th. On this day in 1919, the Cincinnati Reds won the World Series.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
Go Big Red.
Yeah. Later tainted because 8 Chicago White Sox were charged with throwing the game.
Oh, that's right.
The Black Sox scandal.
Say it ain't so, Joe.
It all kicked off today. This was the lowest moment in White Sox history until 2024, when, of course, they entered the record books as one of the most inept teams in sports history. They lost 121 games this season. That's the record for the most losses in the modern era. By the way, the modern era starts in 1901.
Wow. That was such a dumpster fire in South Chicago there this year that they just quit bringing guys up from the minors. They're like, we're not even going to try and win at this point. Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. 8 Men Out. Great movie about the Black Sox scandal. Absolutely fantastic. On this day in 1997, Dean Smith, legendary Tar Heel basketball coach, retired. October 9th, he retired, just a couple weeks before the season started, assuring that his lead assistant for 30 years, Bill Guthridge, would then get the job. He's a team player. In 3 seasons, Bill Guthridge went 80-28. And is just completely forgotten.
Well, I mean, if
80-28, and they're like, we need a real coach in here.
They'd have a statue out in front of, I'm trying to think, the barn over there, if that was a Gopher coach.
Well, yeah, no kidding. Replacing a legend's literally never easy, or so they tell me.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zep, Tony, and Ryder on 92 KQRS.
I think the vast majority of us are sick and tired of the far left and sick and tired of the far right, okay? Right now, there's a group on the far left in Canada that successfully canceled the name of a youth hockey division because they said it was too offensive. Don't worry, I'll tell you the name. The name of the youth hockey division, and it's been this way for years, has always been the midget division. Now, I feel like I'm uniquely qualified to talk about this. And me personally, I was not offended. I was not. To me, it made sense. Kids, small, midget division, okay. But some people got offended, and they complained, and they changed the name of the division. The problem is that the new name, I think, is worse. It is, because the new name of the youth hockey division in Canada is the under 18s. Right? That's icky as Oh my God, the under 18s? What the fuck? You can't go to your friends and be like, hey, it's Friday night. Let's go watch the under 18s. You can't say that. The under 18s? You can't call a youth hockey division the under 18s. Nobody's going to want to score on the under 18s.
Oh my God. Brad Williams right there. He is at the Fitzgerald Theater this Saturday night. 2 shows, 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. If you're trying to play catch up, he is a little person, a midget as he calls himself, is what he was referencing there. And by the way, he'll be on this show in a little over an hour, about 8:30. Brad Williams is calling in. Very funny guy.
All right, well, get him a little step stool here.
Good.
Come on.
Good morning shout out to Harris, Minnesota. Up north, I call it. Not too far up north, but north of where we're currently sitting. Harris, you go past North Branch before you get to Rush City.
Right, it's right up there.
There it is. I'm looking at Harris on the map. I will be the first to tell you, I have no information or experience with Harris, Minnesota. I'd love to know something about the place.
That's why they love living there.
That's exactly right.
Hiding out in Harris,
the best kept secret in the state.
And they invented Harris tweed there. And put him on the map.
I knew I'd heard of it somewhere. Rock on, Harris. Glad to have you with us. The Joker, the follow-up to Joker's coming out. And we're seeing a lot of critics hate it, but Slash of Guns N' Roses says, don't listen to the critics. It's great. There's your
soundtrack.
There's your Ebert, your Siskel and Ebert. That's I'm not really sure, but I just noticed he posted something like, no, this movie's really, really good. I haven't heard any stories of the making of this film, but I, you look at these actors. You got what's his name? Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
You got Lady Gaga, and they're they talk sometimes about how grueling it is. Heath Ledger famously played the Joker in Christopher Nolan's Batman, and it was grueling mentally. He was in a really weird state of mind after that. Yeah. And you don't think about movie actors and actresses and big stars having these rough lives, but it can get a little wonky on set. You're playing a part. You look up one day and you're like, I just walk around like the Joker for 6 months. It can be hard to shake it off. It can be even harder to shake off something that goes awry on the movie set. Like this. Princess Bride. We've all seen The Princess Bride countless times.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely a stand-up. Carrie, how do you say his name? The main guy, Carrie Elwes?
Yeah, Elwes.
Yeah. Elwes. Yeah. There's a scene, very famous scene with Christopher Guest, who's the six-fingered swordsman guy. He bonks Carrie on the head with his sword.
Yeah.
He knocks him out. Yeah. He actually knocked him out. The take that we've seen a million times, he literally knocked the actor unconscious when he bonked him on the head. And they did several more takes, but that was the one, as it makes sense, the most realistic take, so they used it.
I would be pissed if I got knocked out on the set and they didn't use that one. Like, are you kidding me, man?
His eyes just rolled back in his head so perfectly during that scene.
And by the way, I will say this. I have flagged that scene many times because I think it looks like he goes too. It's like he's overdoing the I'm getting knocked out.
Funny.
I thought that it's a little too much. Okay, we get it. No, that's what it looks like when you literally get knocked out with a bonk on the head. Apparently,
I've never seen myself getting knocked out.
Nor have I. A couple people have seen me knock myself out in a bizarre, hallway hijinks one time, but I've never seen it. The Passion of the Christ, never seen it. Anyone?
I haven't seen it either.
Jim Caviezel? I never know. Caviezel. Hassenpfeffer Incorporated. Apparently, there's a scene where he gets hit on the head with the 250-pound cross he was actually carrying.
Yeah.
He bit through his tongue and cheek, and in the movie, he's bleeding profusely from his mouth. It's real blood because he bit through his tongue and cheek.
Oh, I thought
Quite a cross to bear.
Yeah, truly. That's pretty good. I mean, I'm like, hey, Jim, good job, bro.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now, Martin Sheen, during his breakdown scene early in the movie, it was not in the script that he punches the mirror in this hotel room, but he was feeling it, and he went for it, and he punched it, and of course, he sliced his hand open and blood all over the place, and they just kept it in the film.
Yeah, well, he had a nervous breakdown during that film, right?
A heart attack.
Yeah, heart attack. That was it.
They didn't film that. It was him. He was out in the jungle and like living out there, and apparently he had a heart attack and had to walk like a mile to a medical tent, and like they're like, yeah, you should be dead.
One of those Red Fox heart attacks. Weezy, I'm coming. I'm coming. This is it.
That's
the
right.
big one.
How about this one? The Expendables, Sly Stallone fighting with Stone Cold Steve Austin. The fight scene was so intense, Stallone had a metal plate put into his neck because of a hairline fracture he suffered during the filming of that fight scene.
Oh, Steve Austin. What's his name? Cold? What was it?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's it. It's been a while. He just wanted to beat up on those pussy boy actors that act like tough guys. Hey, Rocky. Yeah. Come over here, First Blood.
You're probably one of those guys who thought wrestling was all fake.
Dolph Lundgren broke Sly's ribs and collapsed a lung during Rocky IV.
Ivan Drago.
Yes.
Literally beating up our American hero.
Sure. Well, you wanted to keep it realistic.
For his art. Yeah.
Tarzan the Ape Man. Not a great movie, but it does feature Bo Derek.
Oh, that one.
Was attacked on set by a lion.
Well, yeah.
The trained, sedated lion actually got a little angry and went after Bo Derek. Miles O'Keefe, the actor who plays Tarzan, jumped to shield her from the attack.
God bless her.
Still managed to get her shoulder. She sliced up the lion sliced Bo Derek's shoulder with his paw pretty good.
Kept it in.
I mean, who amongst us wouldn't charge Bo Derek if we had a chance?
That's where it is. I don't think I would. Sure. I mean, we all live to be on the silver screen. It's a dream of all of ours. But if I get cast in a big motion picture and a lion comes at me, I'm calling. Hey guys, enough's enough.
Right. We'll need that body double. Where's that good-looking son of a butt?
Don't think that's what we need here. And Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Viggo Mortensen, the King. As in the Return of the King, right? He broke 2 toes kicking a helmet in a scene. And then he goes down to his knees in pain. That's real. He broke 2 toes kicking a helmet. They left it in.
That'd be embarrassing.
Yeah, who brought the metal helmet in? Where's the styrofoam helmet I'm supposed to kick? I thought you were going to say he ran into the green screen.
Walking home from the pool when we were kids, we're cutting across a golf course, and the tee markers, you have the white tees, the blue tees, the blacks, the golds, whatever. We came across we were just cutting across the tee box. There's a white tee marker, and it looked exactly like a white styrofoam cup upside down, like the mouth end down.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was a big hunk of cement that looked like a white styrofoam cup.
Sometimes they are cement, aren't they?
Yeah. And this is in the 70s when you just did that sort of thing. And my brother Doug was like, I'll just kick that cup.
Yeah.
No, he just full force right into a hunk of cement with his big toe.
Owie.
Baby.
Yeah, and we felt bad, but we were laughing too hard to let him go. We felt bad for him. He went down in just a heap of sobs.
There's a scene in that 70s show when Ashton Kutcher jumps over the couch and he slams into a coffee table, and it's a big laugh, but he said he really did it. And if you watch the episode, he's just wincing in pain, but they kept it in.
Yeah, to your point, if you go through all that and they don't use it in the final edit, you got to be furious.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Right. In fact, I don't think I'd give him another take. I'm like, clearly you're not going to get a better take than me actually hurting myself.
Yeah, that's
please,
it. For the love of God. If you find yourself hurting yourself, whether you're on camera or not, usually you're going to go, what is this? I better go to Google and make sure. Medical symptoms and Google, it's a match made in hell. Trust me. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good morning, Wednesday, October 9th. A little revolution from the Beatles right there. Today is John Lennon's birthday. It's also Sean Lennon's birthday. His son was born on his very same birthday.
No kidding.
So let's see. He was born in 40. His Sean's 75. So on his 45th birthday, he had a son.
Nice.
Sorry, 35th birthday. I got a little ahead of myself. 35th birthday. Nice. Happy
this
birthday.
Is John Lennon on KQRS in Minneapolis, and hi to you all, and rock on.
Who says he's dead?
Yeah, rock on. You heard the man.
Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah, it was,
for God's sakes.
I forget what year it was, but I remember it was on his birthday, John Lennon's birthday, so it had to be today that they dedicated Strawberry Fields in Central Park.
That's right. I believe that was 5 years after his death, 1985, if memory serves.
Yeah.
And, of course, not the first time I went to New York City, but the second time I went to New York City, I was like, I got to go. I got to be there.
Yep.
And if you go to Strawberry Fields in Central Park, it's funny because you'll find a whole bunch of people just like you who just have to go there.
Yeah.
And then you look at each other awkwardly, and it's like, you like John Lennon too? Yeah, me too. I love him.
Had a strawberry shake while I walked through.
There you go.
Not even kidding around.
Double it down, man.
By
I
accident.
Like that. By accident.
No, I just happened to notice.
The Wild kick off the season tomorrow night. We've been putting together our own little, radio midweek mixtape. What song would you play if you were in charge of the PA? If you're the sound man at the XL Energy Center and there's a fight on the ice, what song do you immediately turn to? A lot of great texts have come in throughout the morning. Several people mentioning Double Vision by Foreigner.
Yeah.
And mentioning that it was written about hockey.
Yeah, right, exactly. It was one of the New York Rangers, wasn't it? Wasn't a goalie got knocked out or something?
This is a new story to me. I figured you would have known something about it. But I did not know that about the song Double Vision by Foreigner. But I get it.
I believe,
totally
and somebody fact check me, it was the Stanley Cup playoffs in 1980. I think Zep is fact checking me right now.
I'm fact checking myself.
Fair enough. This is not a debate. We can fact check each other.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, but there was they were watching it in their hotel room or something like that after seeing New York Rangers goalie John Davidson get knocked out during the 1977 Stanley Cup playoffs. That's where the title came from. They were at the hockey game. Avid Ranger fans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Lou and Mick.
Man, I can't believe we lost the game. Let's go write a song and make millions of dollars from our efforts.
They announced it on the PA that as he was being taken off the ice that he was suffering from double vision.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow, that's right there next to Aerosmith's Walk This Way being inspired from a viewing of Young Frankenstein.
Oh, yes. Walk This Way.
Left the studio, walked up to Times Square, saw Young Frankenstein, and there's the Walk This Way when Igor walks down the stairs with the little tiny walking stick. And Steven Tyler, it was a funny moment in the movie, loved it. He's walking back to the studio, and he just had Walk This Way burning a hole in his brain.
That's awesome.
Is that what that song's about?
No, not at all. Not in the least.
Because if I listen to the lyrics,
you don't hear a lot of Transylvania, Mel Brooks is a genius. There's not a lot of those lyrics in Walk This Way. There are, however, let's see, the first line, what is it? Little skirt hiding up in the knees. It's a whole different thing. Whole different. Little skirts climbing way up the knees. Yeah, there was 3 young ladies in the school gym locker when I noticed they was looking at me. Did he invent rap music? Oh my gosh, this is a whole other topic for another day. We all feel bad at times. We all have various ailments, maladies, if you will, and then most of us, of course, we can't help ourselves. We go and make it worse by Googling. What do you think this might mean?
Yeah.
Google releases their most Googled health concerns by state every year. And there's a few that I just really want to get to. And we have to talk about our friends over to the right of Wisconsin, just over east a little ways. Wisconsin's this is the most Googled symptom in Wisconsin. Light-colored poop.
You mean like a cheddar color, perhaps?
I could be. Light-colored poop, guys. Gals, what's going on over there?
Well, you don't want it too dark.
No.
Black stool is.
No, that's
a red flag or a black flag.
Google that one time. All sorts of bad things come up. No, I suppose that's the cheddar and your Miller Lite there, right? Or maybe a nice liney shandy with the cheddar. That
could be.
Yeah.
Just wow.
That's what I'm thinking. Cheese curds, Culver's.
A little closer to home, Minnesota. I don't think this will be too much of a surprise. One word: irritable. People are Googling, I'm irritable. What's going on with me?
Oh, he's just a crab apple.
Yeah.
Like that. Not irritable bowel syndrome, just irritable. Yeah, all right.
So that's Wisconsin. That's Minnesota. Now let's go to South Dakota, the home of the Zepp family.
See, I haven't looked yet.
Here it is. Headache location chart.
What?
Is Googled regularly in South Dakota.
What does that
Headache
mean?
location chart.
Well, so if I have one in my temple,
Yeah,
what
what
does
does
that
it
mean?
mean?
In front of the head?
Is this sinuses? Is this mental illness? Why does my head hurt at this part of my head?
My dad would say probably something Brian did.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Some others that jump out to me. Idaho. Symptoms of E. coli.
If you got to Google it, then
Guys.
you don't have E. coli.
If you can Google it, you don't have E. coli. If you're laying in a pile of your own sick in the corner and crying, you might have E. coli. Nebraska. Sorry, guys. Signs of low testosterone. Sorry. The winters are long.
God, only if they had something for that.
And where would it be available?
Yeah, I don't know. If you stick around to the next commercial break.
New Mexico has a problem with congestion. New Mexico is Googling phlegm, but more often than not spelled F-L-E-M.
No.
Phlegm.
Well, is that something else? My buddy
Flemish.
Phlegm? Flemish.
You've got to remember, guys, it's pachlegum.
Yeah.
That's how that's done.
Yeah, I know. It's a tricky one.
The opposite of Wisconsin would be South Carolina. A lot of searches for dark green stool.
Green.
Dark green.
Oh, that's...
Wow. On St. Patty's Day, maybe.
Diarrhea makes my turn green. How's that good? Diarrhea. Tastes like gas? And I'm thinking of something else. It's a kid's song. Remember? No?
I thought you were singing
I
Mamma
did, but
Mia.
it was the
Is it
cover.
to the tune of Mamma Mia by ABBA? Is that what was happening?
That's it. That's the one.
Dark green stool.
What about Ohio?
Dark green too.
This should be a Minnesota one, shouldn't it? Ohio? Paleness.
Wow.
It's a paleness going on.
We know why we're pale.
We know
we're
why.
aware.
Yeah,
Iowa might be confused.
We don't have to.
I'm a couple more that really jump off the map to me. I'm curious, what's going on in Delaware and Rhode Island where they're Googling lucid dreams?
Oh, cool.
My God, really?
All right.
And then finally, Indiana. Boy, this is a good one. Uncircumcised problems. I'm Googling uncircumcised problems.
Why Indiana?
I don't. Yeah. Why?
I don't know. And what could the problems be?
I feel like they don't know how to use the incognito browser.
Maybe that's what a Hoosier means.
A Hoosier. That's when you get a little of the, gunk, a little mildew in there. It's a cleaning thing, I think. I don't know. California, sweaty palms.
A lot of romance, a lot of love, a lot of young love in California. It's like they're literally living American graffiti every day of the year.
We're retired of sweaty palms.
Sweaty Palms, California. How can I help you? So if you're struggling through any of these things, trust us, you are not alone. Oh, one last one, Tennessee, pregnancy cravings, the number one search right there. Just eat what sounds good to you.
Yeah.
A bunch of interviews done recently with a whole group of people who are over 100 years old, and they ask them, what are the tips? Why do you think you've made it this long?
All right.
How are you living to be 100?
What do they got?
Here's a really good one. A lot of people said this: ignore all the traditional advice about your diet. Just eat what makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And then the other group said, no, eat healthy. So basically the exact opposite of the one group of people. About half the people said, just eat whatever you want. And another half said, no, be very aware of it. Eat healthy. So right away, you know that we're just looking at, it's just a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Staying active and staying positive. Big parts of the thing. A positive mental attitude.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to go well before 100 years old. I don't know. I try to stay positive most days, but...
This is a problematic one right here. Always try to get a good night's sleep.
Ooh, no, I've got no shot there. Maybe, I don't know, someday when they stick me in the home, that's all I'll do is sleep.
How about this one? Be nice to others.
Now I just want to die.
Yeah, it's like,
Come
really?
on, this is, jeez.
Maintain meaningful relationships. Yeah.
That's actually a lot of work.
I feel like this is getting personal.
Yeah,
Come on.
We're basically here to tell you, Brian, the clock's ticking, bro.
I got a 101-year-old here that's on my side.
What's my secret to a long life? to drink all the booze you can drink.
Come on.
Drink all the booze you can drink.
Well, this is a quote. A 111-year-old man said, "Putting a little bourbon in your morning coffee is like medicine."
All right.
Oh, yeah, here's another one.
Well, what do you attribute to? And I always say, well, I have two good friends. Oh, Jim Beam and Jack Daniels.
Those are your secrets?
Yeah, those are my two good friends.
And that's how you've lived so long?
Well, they helped me along.
A 104-year-old guy. I feel like when you just get to that age, you just want to F with everyone.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, give that a try. See how that works out for you.
I promise you, if I have the 100th birthday and I'm surrounded by my doting grandchildren and great-grandchildren and whoever the Willard Scott of that era is on the Today Show, and they let's go over and check in with Steve Gorman. How great would it be if he said, well, every Sunday I wake up and I take a copious amount of LSD, and I have found that it relaxes me to a point of, that'd be great. Some guy.
Maybe it's just denial. We all love this audio.
Get older on your birthday?
Yes. How old are you?
I have no idea.
110.
What?
110 years old.
10?
110.
I don't believe that.
No, you look like you're 21.
Why, sure.
And just as beautiful as ever.
Why, sure.
Yes.
Oh, I hope people don't talk to me like that.
I know,
someday.
so condescending.
Yeah.
What? Well, what?
I didn't know that's where that was from. I hear that "what" on the show all the time.
I don't believe that.
There's a 106-year-old lady who said, "I never smoked, I never drank, I never cussed, I never lied, and I never chased cowboys."
Well, I mean, feel free to have a little fun.
Yeah.
God, if you're going, there's something about quality over quantity in there, isn't it?
I too have never chased a cowboy.
Well, they're on horseback. You got no shot.
That's very true.
Oh my God.
How many people are sitting around right now after binge watching another season of Yellowstone, and they're just like, that? I'm just gonna throw it all away and head out west.
Yeah,
I want that life. I know several people my age, late 50s, and in conversation they're like, I don't know, man. I watch Yellowstone and I stop them right there. I go, it's a soap opera. There's people get shot and killed in every episode, and then they go home and make passionate love by the fire, and then Kevin Costner threatens to kill them all again. I get the sex by the fire part, but do you get the rest of the show?
Yeah.
There's a game warden who's out just murdering people regularly. if I got it right, they're taking ranch hands and throwing them off a cliff.
Yeah.
What part of this is exhilarating? What am I missing? Every time I turn to it, some poor guy's like, hey, it's not going to work here on the ranch. We'll drive you over across the state line. And actually, we're going to shoot you in the head and drop you off a cliff. What the hell's going on out there?
I know one of the big lines in Montana is, I saw that Yellowstone and it's so beautiful out there. It was shot in Colorado. Go there.
Funny.
How many cocktail glasses? How many bourbon glasses can one family throw against a hearth of a fireplace?
Do they do that?
My God! Every time someone's always like taking a shot and throwing the glass in frustration.
Yeah, best way to kill a family get together, I know. And we were all at one of these big places. Mm-hmm. We had the whole big room in there. Someone was turning 50 at the time. I was quite young, and I did that. I just took my glass. I'm like, yeah! Boom! And just right in the fireplace, Brian, it just killed. Everybody was like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Brian, that's not even, I'm like, come on, it's just a glass. It's like, all right, stop. Let's get the kids to bed. But no, everything's done. Let's just shut it down. I'm like, it's just a freaking glass.
What are you in the hospital for, Joe? Well, I went over to the Dutton Ranch and made the mistake of taking my shoes off, and there's broken glass all over the place. And just sliced my feet to ribbons.
I think I tuned into one episode. I was all right, Yellowstone. Yellowstone. I'll give it a shot. And they were killing a guy by, I think they put him in a horse trailer, and then they just drove the horse trailer around, whipped it in circles.
That makes sense.
And it killed him because they just threw him around the horse trailer.
That checks out.
And I just shut it off. I'm like, yeah, that's not. Yeah. You can't do that. That's not real.
I don't know, man. There's just a lot of violence out there trying to maintain a ranch in Wyoming or wherever it is, Montana, I guess.
Montana's a hell of a lot of fun if you move out there with $100 million.
But you know what? I bet that's true anywhere you go.
Yeah.
If wherever you go, if you got 100 million of your little green friends, it's just a great time.
John Mellencamp's Small Town. He's like, I was born in a small town, I'll die in a small town. Small town's the greatest. I'm like, yeah, if you have the biggest house in the small town, if you're the rich guy, you know.
Yeah, that's very true.
Otherwise, it gets a little dull sometimes.
All right, hang on. I got to get to work on this 100 mil.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zepp, Tony, and Ryder on Minnesota's classic rock 92 KQRS.
He comes to you and goes, we're doing something. You know it's going to be something she's going to love and you're going to hate. Now, I know there's a lot of women right now like, oh no, Brad, my man loves doing that stuff with me. No, he does not! No man has ever woken up, had a free Saturday, and thought to himself, sweet! Flea market. Okay, that's not happening. Because I had a weekend off not too long ago. I never get weekends off. I get a weekend off, I like to do nothing. Stay at home, watch the TV, pet my dog. That's what I like to do. And I'm doing that. I'm having a great time. My wife comes in the room, big smile on her face. She's like, okay, we are going apple picking. You want to take your dwarf husband. Why apples? Why not strawberries? That would have made some sense. They grow on the ground. That could be an asset. Run, drag my arm, get them all, one shot.
Brad Williams right there. Brad Williams will be at the Fitzgerald Theater Saturday, 2 shows, 7 and 10. Brad Williams will be with us in about 30 minutes on this very show, the KQ Morning Show. Very funny guy.
I love his energy, man.
And by the way, appearing in the new Spinal Tap movie. I'm going to ask him about that. I can't wait to hear what the hell he's doing.
When you look at the, I suppose the people making cameos in there, they can only have so many stars.
They got a lot.
It's like a page 2 list.
Yeah, it's pretty extensive.
Everybody wants to be in it.
I myself included. I'm just waiting. I keep looking at my phone. Is that Rob Reiner? Nope. Okay. I'll just go on to the next story. Wait, hold on. No, that's not him either. Damn.
All right.
I want to be in Spinal Tap. And also, one thing you might want to do is one of these days, swing by Farmington, Minnesota. Good morning, Farmington.
I know. I like to ride the motorbike down that way, of course, for the big Jesse James days. I always get corrected when I say that. It's the defeated Jesse James. I know you guys shut the hell out of those boys.
Defeated Jesse James days. Yeah. How many times did they shoot that poor bastard? I mean, they went off on him.
Well, Jesse and his bro got away. It was those younger boys, and they ended up putting them in the jail over in Stillwater. I think Cole Younger ended up getting out of there before he became a pseudo celebrity, like a lot of those guys did. But he put a bunch of years in over there. But I don't know, in the movie Long Riders, they shot the hell out of him. I don't know.
Sure did. A lot going on there.
Yeah, but they got all shut up. That was a big deal. Don't try and take those Minnesota farmers' money.
No, I don't think that's a good idea at all. But Farmington, we're thinking of you. Glad to have you with us on the KQ Morning Show. Let's see what else we have going on. Oh, yeah, that's right. Brad Williams is at the Fitzgerald Theater. 2 shows Saturday night. He's going to be with us on the horn here in just a moment or two. Speaking of the XL Energy Center, as we've been throughout the morning, the Wild kickoff tomorrow night with a home game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. And we're soliciting songs. Let's just assume you're running sound tomorrow night at the XL Energy Center and a fight breaks out on the ice. What song do you go to? On the KQ Talking text line, Aerosmith, My Fist, Your Face. It's an often forgotten
song.
Chestnut from the Aerosmith collection. I also like this one, Minnie Riperton's Loving You. That's nice. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. I can see that as someone's pulling a sweater over the other man's head, as they call it.
Sounds like a slap shot scene, doesn't it? Everybody just going gonzo on the ice. Minnie Riperton.
It'd be fantastic. So
I do what a lot of people do, especially if I'm running sound for the game. I'm going to search fight songs. And Loretta Lynn, Fist City. I'd never heard of this song before, but yeah, little Loretta Lynn is going to messing around with her man, which I guess her man did a little messing around back
I guess
in
he
the day.
did, sure. All right, Brad Williams is with us on the horn. Saturday, Fitzgerald Theater, 2 shows, 7 and 10. Brad Williams, a very funny man. Brad, good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning on my time, which is actually not that bad because I got a 4-year-old. She's been up for about 4 hours. But I'm just saying, I'm excited. I'm excited to be there. I'm excited we're doing 2 shows. First show pretty much sold out, so we got the second show, which tickets are still available for.
This is a professional on the other end of this phone. First of all, up at the crack of dawn, you have a 4-year-old. I remember those days in the toddler and little kid tunnel very well. How's that around the house with you on the road all the time and leaving that kid behind? What's the resentment level from the wife these days?
See there, you asked the exact question, because with the kid, it's great. I'm fun uncle.
Yeah.
I'm dad, but I'm fun uncle. Like, I'm home for 2 days, 2-3 days, and then when I'm home, we're just doing all the fun stuff because we got to get all the family time in during that time. It's the wife that's there for the daily grind, all the wiping of the noses and other orifices that I am not there for, where I am out doing 2 shows at the Fitzgerald Theater, to where it's like, yeah, I'm having fun. And thankfully my fun pays the bills. But yes, the resentment level is high. All I can tell you for other people out there that are in a similar situation, date night, man. You gotta do a date night. Pay for the darn babysitter. Get the 17-year-old down the street. Get him in the house. Go out. Spend extra money, no matter what kind of fluids are dripping from your wife because she's been with the kid all day. Tell her she looks great. Tell her she looks beautiful. Tell her she's the most amazing person in the world. You gotta do that, man.
Brad Williams, comedy, marital advice.
Yeah,
take your pick.
Solid,
dude. Oh, you want marital advice? As a comedian, I will give you the thing that has saved my marriage. Okay, this has literally saved my marriage. All right, now. I know that, everyone has like safe words. Okay, safe words are common. I'm sure you guys have safe words. I'm sure. Oh, yeah. But yeah, exactly. But my wife and I, we have a safe word for when I'm taking a joke too far. This has saved my marriage. Okay, I am still in the house that I'm in. I haven't lost half my stuff. This is because of this. If I'm going too far with a joke and the wife is uncomfortable, she says the word cephalopod, and then I know that you laugh. That's the word. I didn't just make up a word. I didn't go like glockenspiel. Like, no, it's cephalopod, and I know that I got to back off because. My friends are the funniest, most vulgar people in the world. And when you get comedians around each other, we're just trying to top each other. We're just trying to make each other laugh. I was in Nashville last week, and it was me and Chris Porter and JB Ball. And we're just saying the things that are just going to get us canceled if there was ever a camera or a microphone in there. But my wife is not that, and my wife's friends are not that, and God knows my neighbors are not that.
Yeah, there should be a whole neighborhood just for comedians, just to make it safe for everybody. You guys should all find a little out of the way little neighborhood in LA and just all go there, and then think how much easier your life's going to be.
I mean, that's why you think we go out to the Comedy Store and the Improv. I mean, we're on the road 3-4 days a week. We're home for 2 or 3 days. And yet we still go out to the comedy clubs. That's our safe zone. There's a place in Denmark that literally has no rules. It's like a little section of the country. It's in Copenhagen.
Christianstad.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I've been there, baby.
I love that. I love that there's a section of the world that's just the purge.
Yeah. Well, in the early 90s, it was the place to go for good hash. That's all that we cared about. But, it's a free thinking, free living, watch your back kind of place for sure.
No kidding.
Absolutely. So that is what the Comedy Store is out here in L.A. And really, but that's what any stage is for comedians. That's why I love going on stage. That's where I get all that out. So then I could be suburbanite dad when I get home and see my neighbor be like, "How's your grass this year, Greg?" You know, just boring conversation.
There's always it's always Greg, isn't it? And it's Greg with 3 G's. It's always Brad Williams is at the Fitzgerald, 2 shows Saturday, 7 and 10. You just referenced you were at the Ryman with my buddy Chris Porter. We go back a long ways, as it turns out. And I've spent a lot of time at the Ryman because Nashville was my old stomping grounds. Do you ever could you have imagined 15, 20 years ago you'd be playing at the church of country music? I mean, and going to places like Nashville, much less you just did your first European tour, I believe. This thing's working out for you, brother.
It is, and thanks for mentioning Nashville, because I think that's the first time I was on your show, Steve. Yeah. Is there in Nashville, and that's when I was doing the great comedy club there that's called Zanies. Yep. And then to go to the mother church, to go to the Ryman Auditorium, where so this is how you know that I'm feeling my stuff a little too much, because this is how I opened my show at the Ryman. Okay, this is maybe the biggest show of my life in terms of the notoriety of the venue. I walk up on stage and say, "Here we are at the Ryman Auditorium. Everyone has played here. Johnny Cash, Garth Brooks, Loretta Lynn, and Helen Keller." And then the reason why I knew that is because I did the tour before the show. Helen Keller actually played the Ryman.
What? Played what?
Yes, in 1941, Helen Keller. I don't want to go so far as to say it was a speaking tour, because, but Helen did play the Ryman Auditorium, and she sold it out.
She showed up and she had a wah-wah pedal. Oh, my God. Hey, that's a freebie.
I went there, baby.
I'm so glad you made the joke, because I was about to. I still got a couple of tickets that I got to sell for the late show at the Fitzgerald, so I'm glad that you made the joke.
Yeah.
Trust me, I was thinking it.
Oh, yeah, of course. We all were there. Brad Williams, I can't. We've already discussed this morning. Could there be anything cooler than just dropping this on a people at a cocktail party? Oh yeah, I'm in the new Spinal Tap movie.
Oh, dude, you have no idea, and you're a musician, so you know what that is. And everyone that has been on a tour bus has watched Spinal Tap multiple times. Anyone that's been on the road, any musician. So the fact that they made another one, I'd be first in line if I wasn't in the film. But then I got a call from Christopher Guest, and he did it because I worked with him in another film on Netflix called Mascots. And he wanted me back, so I'm in the Spinal Tap movie along with all the original cast. There's a few other people that are in the movie. You know, there's a Sir Paul McCartney in the movie. I don't know if you guys know that guy. There's a Sir Elton John. There's a Dave Grohl. There's a Garth Brooks. Everyone's in this film, and I'm not allowed to say what I'm doing in the Spinal Tap movie. But if you know what I look like, and you know Spinal Tap the original, it's not hard to figure out what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I got it. Yeah. When is this thing supposed to be out? I mean, I guess I could Google this. Do you know when its release date is?
That's the thing. I have no idea. They're keeping it very hush-hush, but I'm just really excited. I'm also in the film with Wee Man from Jackass, which makes me really excited because now people finally figure out that he and I are not the same freaking person.
Brad Williams is with us on the KQ Morning Show Saturday at the Fitzgerald Theater. 2 shows, 7 and 10. 7's just about sold out. There's a few tickets left for the 10 p.m. If you want a good night, you could do a lot worse than Brad Williams. I want to go back to what you were talking about. You said comedians sitting around, it's unlike anything else. And you referenced the old Club Zanies. I did an event there one night where I just found myself in the green room with 7 stand-up comedians. And I just sat there sort of terrified and in awe because that was a conversation unlike any other I've ever been a fly on the wall for, because it really was a case of, it's like if you imagine a bunch of NBA players all just playing horse and coming up with the absolute. That's what I was thinking. This is like I'm watching Bird and Magic and Jordan play horse, try to outdo each other, and the depth of the depravity in the jokes they were coming up with. It scarred me. I mean, I was in my late 40s and I was going, I can't believe this is just them hanging out on a Saturday night. It was amazing.
Yes.
What is wrong with you people?
You've been a touring rock star, and you're clutching your pearls.
I was. I truly was. I was like, this is a whole nother level of darkness and hilarity somehow infused.
And I'll be funny, but I'll also be serious. The thing about that, I mean, why do we do that? What is wrong with us? I don't know. We probably have some pent up daddy issues, didn't get hugged enough, whatever. But then at the same time, the reason why being in a green room with a bunch of comedians just making each other laugh is so beautiful is because comedians just look at the joke as the joke, and the only thing that matters is it funny or is it not funny. If we have a sibling that is afflicted with a certain condition that somebody else talks about, we don't care because we're just looking at the joke separate from all of that. And the thing is like some people, it's amazing to me that some people will go see a comedian, see a performance, be like, oh, they're racist, they're sexist or misogynistic or homophobic or whatever. But then if you go to a comedian green room, if you go to a comedy club green room, you will see the black comic, the white comic, the Asian comic, the trans comic, the gay comic, the disabled comic. Everyone is just there making fun of each other because the only currency that truly matters to us is funny. That's all that matters. So that's why it's such a mind screw up for us to go into the quote-unquote real world, the civilized world, and have people not view jokes that way, and have people take stuff personally, which is hence to go back to the part of our conversation earlier, why the safe word has saved my marriage. Okay, that is why that has happened. So, I mean, it's a wonderful thing, and I love the fact that comedy is having the surge right now. Sometimes I get asked, like, what do you think about all these comedians getting canceled? And I think to myself, like, okay, so the comedians that have been canceled have been like Dave Chappelle, Joe Rogan, Shane Gillis, and Louis C.K., and they're all selling out stadiums. Great. Cancel me, okay?
Please, feel free.
Take something I say in this interview out of context and cancel me, because then I'll be adding a third show at the Fitzgerald. So please, by all means, do it.
Brad Williams, let's go back to the very early days. First time you got up with a mic in your hand and did this in a room full of strangers. How old were you?
Yeah. 19. I'm 40 now, which is about 65 in dwarf.
Okay.
And I've been doing this for 20 years. So if you just heard of me, and for those of you who don't know, they're like, who is this guy they've been talking to the whole time? If you open up Instagram and a dwarf has a microphone, that's me. Okay, I'm in your algorithms. That's me. So yeah, I've been doing it 20 years. 20 years to be an overnight success. And the first time on stage I was in the audience of a comedy club at the Brea Improv, and the comedian on stage was making midget jokes, and half the audience was laughing, and the audience that was sitting by me was deathly quiet. And the comedian noticed that, and he said, "Why do you got these jokes are funny? What's wrong?" He goes, and he says, "What is one of them here?" And I raised my creepy little hand in the air, and the comedian called me up on stage and started asking me questions. The answers I gave were honest. They weren't. I wasn't trying to be funny, but my answers got laughs from the audience, and that was it. That was the moment where I'm like, "Oh, I got to do this for a living."
That was
yeah, I remember the comedian asked me, he goes, "What do you do for a living?" And I grew up and lived in Orange County, California, so my answer, of course, was, "I work at Disneyland." And the audience started to chuckle, and I looked, and I said, "Shut up, I'm not one of the 7. And see, that joke still gets laughed at.
It does.
Which warms my heart. So, that's how it all started. And then all it takes, guys, to be successful in stand-up comedy is to be an absolute road dog for 20 years of your life, maybe a global pandemic, and people locked in their homes so they have nothing to do but watching social media clips where they can consume stand-up comedy. And then you, too, can sell out the Fitzgerald Theater and add a second show.
Hey, man, master planning on your part, Brad. Very well played.
From the beginning, my friend.
Pulling the strings on those wet markets in China to boost your own career. Awesome. Hey, dude, it's great to talk to you again. Seriously. Fitzgerald, 2 shows, 7 and 10 p.m. BradWilliamsComedy.com is where people can get tickets. I got to ask you 2 questions. Give me your favorite band. I know, it's impossible. You can change your answer tomorrow, but right now, shoot from the hip. Who is it?
Right now, my favorite band is a band called Dirty Honey. I love Dirty Honey.
Okay.
They are. I mean, all time, obviously the Crows, but for the most part.
Oh no, I'm a sucker for Adam Duritz. I love those dreads. All right, last question. Favorite team, any sport?
Oh, I mean, I went and saw them on Sunday. Denver Broncos. They're the thing that fuels me. I got to be at the stadium on Sunday when the Broncos beat the Raiders. They put me up on the Jumbotron, and the stadium went nuts because apparently dancing dwarf is good luck for a team. Everyone knows it. But yeah, I named my daughter after one of the greatest Denver Broncos of all time. I will not say the name, but yeah. So yeah, good old Terrell Davis Williams. There is a slight obsession there, but hey, kudos to all your listeners in Minnesota, because man, no one thought the Vikings were going to be undefeated this year. No one thought that Sam Bradford, USC Trojan, fight on. I went to USC.
Mm-hmm.
No one thought that he was going to be what he was going to be this year. So kudos to the Vikings, and I'm really happy, genuinely happy for that team and that fan base.
It's a long-suffering and right now feeling pretty good fan base. You hit that on the head. All right, Brad, it's a pleasure, brother. Have a great time at the Fitzgerald Saturday night, and it's always great to talk to you. Thanks for calling in.
Always a pleasure talking to you too, Steve.
See ya. Man. He's getting his USC quarterbacks confused.
Right, he meant Darnold.
He meant Sam Darnold. But we all knew it.
But Bradford was here.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was. That's right.
Yeah, that's how we go. That's how we roll.
Nice, funny.
Fitzgerald Saturday night. I'm like, wait a minute. I wasn't even thinking about that. I might have to catch that 10 o'clock show. Because that's a very funny guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Love his energy.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right, top 5 at 9 coming up. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zepp, Tony, and Ryder on 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Wednesday, October the 9th. That was Rush, and man, that's one badass drummer right there. Here's a great band, Scorpions, from Hanover, Germany. They are returning to Las Vegas with the Coming Home to Las Vegas 60 Years of the Scorpions residency, opening February 27th at Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino. You could score a trip for 2 with round-trip air, 2-night stay, tickets to opening night, and more. You got to text the national keyword guitar to 95819 for a chance to win.
Yep.
You betcha, Red. How about this? Let's get into the top 5 at 9. Here we go. If you're just getting your day off and running, the Twins will be broadcast in 2025 over the MLB Network. Major League Baseball will produce and distribute local games for also the Brewers and Guardians, but most importantly, the Twins. This arrangement gives fans more options to watch the team either on TV or stream digitally. Now, Major League Baseball has owned and operated Major League Baseball Network since 2009. This was the first professional sports league to live stream a regular season game all the way back in 2002.
Right.
So baseball, as much as it's a throwback and the romance and all this, technologically speaking, ahead of the curve a little bit. In 2024, baseball fans streamed 14.5 billion minutes of live baseball games on MLB.TV. That 14.5 billion minutes of anything is cha-ching.
Yeah.
And boy, people are still streaming baseball like there's no tomorrow. As far as how much, where to watch the game specifically and how much it might pay or subscription services, all that's to come before the next season starts. But good news is with Bally's going sideways, the games will be all available one way or the other next year.
Yeah, take a crack at it, someone please. But yeah, the streaming services, they do add up.
The number 4 on your top 5 at 9. You remember the old Spinal Tap movie? They released an album called "Smell the Glove."
Yeah.
Well, we've got a life hack about something else you might want to smell, and that would be your dental floss. I'm a flosser. Zepp's a flosser. Tony's a fake flosser.
Yeah.
And Ryder's a water pick gal. We've established this. But here's a dental hygienist posting something. If you're wondering about your gum health, she's got a hot tip for you.
It's so crazy when I've been cleaning people's teeth for a whole hour and I don't smell periodontal disease really until the end when I'm checking my work and I'm flossing and I can smell it really bad. Even through my mask, my face shield, everything. I always tell my patients, like, if you want to be grossed out but you want to feel encouraged to floss your teeth and then smell the floss.
That's what I'm looking for. Gross encouragement. She can smell. I missed the face shield the first time we played that. Face shield and face mask.
And face mask.
Penetrates both. Your halitosis.
You can also just never floss again, and then you have no idea how bad your gums smell.
Oh, no kidding. My gosh. Yeah, all right. Now I want to floss.
I'm a twice a day flosser minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, and then sometimes after a certain meal, you're just like, oh my God, I got to get this stuff out of there. I dated a dental hygienist when I was a university student. And they had to practice on, they'd come in and I'll clean your teeth. That's just part of the drill. And I let her do that to me. And on the way to have my teeth cleaned, they were handing out free popcorn at the student center. And I didn't even think twice. I was like, oh, sweet. Grabbed a bag of popcorn. And I walked in with the last bite of my mouth. And she's like, sat me down. She's like, okay, so just open up. And and she was she's going to get graded on it. And I walked in there with a mouth full of popcorn.
Yeah, it's not a gimme test. And besides, you could have just told her, I just want to spend more time with you.
Yeah, no. I kept, she never believed that it was unintentional. She's like, you meant to do that. I'm like, it's free food. Look at me.
Yeah.
If it had been a pastrami on rye, I would have had it. If it had been, there's nothing I would have said no to.
The easiest way to hook a young man is free food.
That's it. That's all it takes.
Also, when the dental hygienists do it, they still do it old school. I use the floss picks, of course, but they wrap it around the fingers and can jam both hands into your mouth.
They sure can.
Amazing. Geez, you didn't know you could that much.
And by the way, before you bitch about how bad my floss smells, Miss Hygienist, what about those blue gloves you're wearing? Hardly ideal.
Little latex scent.
Yeah. Number 3 on your top 5 at 9. A bill has been introduced into the United States House of Representatives. It is Congressman Pete Stauber, a Republican from Minnesota, has introduced the Miracle on Ice Congressional Gold Medal Act. He wants to give the members of the 1980 Miracle on Ice Olympic hockey team congressional gold medals.
All right.
All these years later, he's saying, what they did for our country, I'll never forget. One of the defining sports moments in my lifetime. I think that the nation owes them another thank you for the memories they've created for us. He's suggesting they create 3 medals. One will go on display at the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. One will go at the Lake Placid Olympic Center, and a third at the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Museum in Colorado Springs, California. Colorado.
Yeah. Things a little slow there in D.C.?
Apparently so. He's looking back to 44 years ago and thinking, man, that was when it all made sense.
Yeah, no, Stauber's up there. He's a Duluth guy. Yep. I'm sure he played hockey.
He did.
Probably right around our age. It was a big deal. I'm not going to poo-poo this idea. You want to hand out some more medals to those men?
If you want to get a bill passed, that's a good way to. That's a good way to make sure. Who's going to say no?
Right.
I thought they were overrated. I was cheering for the Russians. The Soviets, they just had that vibe, I was really hoping they would pull through. No one's going to say that. What are you kidding?
Yeah, that's Nick.
Number 2 on your top 5 at 9, the trailer for the film with Timothy Chalamet performing portraying, I should say, Bob Dylan is out. The Timothy Chalamet, the young heartthrob, last guy in the world. I thought, well, he'll play Bob Dylan, but then I look at the trailer and I'm like, it kind of looks like Dylan, and he damn sure sounds like Dylan. That cute kid from all those great period pieces. He's Dylan. He looks good. Sounds good. I mean, he's actually singing. I saw one clip where it's a live performance, and he's really playing and singing. And it's like, hey, kid, nice job. Did your homework.
I'll definitely check it out. It's he's got that mid-60s Dylan, that we're talking about. We're just listening to. He's got the look nailed.
He certainly does. Finally, before we get to the number one on your top 5 at 9, do want to give a quick shout out to Minnetonka. Good morning, Minnetonka.
The shores of Minnetonka. So many good and bad decisions made over in that neck of the woods. 4th of July out of the Big Island. I've shamed myself before.
You are hardly alone, I'm sure, in that assessment.
Oh, especially out in Big Island for 4th of July. Yeah, that's a wild time in the old lake.
Glad to have you with us. And also glad to share the top moment of your top 5 at 9. The Minnesota Lynx will be going to the WNBA Finals. They beat Connecticut last night, 88-77. They will now play the New York Liberty in the NBA Finals. First time in the finals for 2017 for a team that has a tremendous championship pedigree, if you will. Congratulations to the Lynx. We got a little bit of, who is this, Collier right here after the game.
Yes.
What was the confidence level being back here at Target Center for you and your teammates?
Oh, it was huge. I think we have some of the best fans of the WNBA here in Target Center here in Minneapolis, and we knew they were going to come out and support, and it was on us to, match their energy and bring the aggression. It was game 5, it's win or go home, and we wanted to give everything we had. It was 40 minutes on our home court, and I thought we took advantage of that.
Absolutely
a lot of energy
great
for after a game. My gosh. Athletes.
Going to the finals, man.
Right on.
Going to the finals, and we're going to kick the New York Liberty's asses, and there's your top 5 at 9.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.